Welcome back to another video, day 3 of removing the head due to a head gasket fail. Today we're removing the cylinder head, the main thing. I went ahead and removed the distributor gear already. It's a 19 mil right here. Went ahead and removed the cam chain tensioner right here, 12 mil. And now it's time to crack open the exhaust cam and the intake cam, and then we'll go ahead and crack the head bolts and go from there. I'm not gonna film too much, so I'll go ahead and put a time lapse of me doing this. Enjoy. Camshafts are out right now. I went ahead and removed the 12 mil. They go to the timing cover. These two, don't forget these two. Remove those two first, and then after that you can start removing your 14 head bolts. There's 14 of them. You have to move them. You have to remove them in a particular order. I believe it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Read through your manual books, and then after that it should come out. Make sure we don't lose the cap. I'm gonna go ahead and mark my caps in a bit here because they're just too oily. Once I break my bolts open, I'll mark them open. But everything looks good. Camshaft came out easy, no issues whatsoever. And also the head bolts, they're a special one. They're a So the head bolts, they're 12 mil, but it's a 12-point system. It's not a 6-point, so you gotta make sure you get a 12 mil. So we'll go ahead and crack those open a bit and see how they go. And again, make sure you break them open in a sequence. It has a particular order. You can't just zip them out. Also, don't zip one out at a time. Zip like half, like do like quarter turn, do like in multiple pass. Don't just work on one bolt. Like I'm not gonna release the whole bolt on one. I'm gonna do like half turn, vice versa. So go from there. I got all the head bolts off. All the head bolts came out easily except for number 2. Number 2 was all gunked up. I was kind of worried that it might be cross-threaded, but it doesn't look like it. It was just super dirty inside the thread. I'm gonna try to do this as a one person It felt pretty it felt pretty light, so I'm gonna try to see if I can get this out. We have to kind of lift this up at an angle to clear the timing chain. So let's see if we can do that. I got plenty of room over here, so I'm gonna try to grab it from. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Got a nice piece of cardboard here. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on. Let me set this head apart. Let me set this head aside real quick. Woohoo! So we had issue on number 6, and I think it doesn't really look like a leak. There's coolant. There's definitely some kind of coolant oil, but the gasket doesn't look bad, so I'm not sure why it was leaking. Huh? That's interesting.
Honey, we'll be right back.
Okay.
Baby's sleeping.
So number 6 is super clean. The top of the piston is really clean compared to all the other one. All the other one have carbon. So coolant was definitely in this cylinder head. Man, I don't know if this is an OEM gasket or not too. The block looks pretty good, so that's it right there. I don't see any bad gasket. I mean, the gasket looked good. It doesn't look super bad or anything. I don't know where it failed. I'll have to come back and inspect this. Let me go set the head away real quick so we don't drop that. Woo! Head is out. Man, that's crazy. Where the heck did it fail? I don't see any failing. This right here is the head gasket. This one, I don't know if this is OEM, guys. Let me know if this is OEM. Once I order my new gasket, we'll compare it. So the gasket looks pretty good. We know for sure we had issue on 6. And the only thing I can see on 6 is if you look at this over here, it's kind of bent. You can see how it's not super circular right there on the right side, but I'm not sure that's normal. But other than that, I don't see anything wrong with the gasket itself. This is the back side. Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's a gasket. What if we don't have a bad head gasket and this is all a joke? NuttyNu's just playing with y'all. No, I wouldn't be doing this. So you guys can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They all look clean except for number 6. So number 6 was definitely getting coolant or something. That's why it was all clean. But I don't see. Oh, let me focus here. I don't see anything wrong over here on number 6. The block isn't cracked or anything. That's good. So we're gonna have to clean up. We're gonna have to clean up hole number 2. This one over here was super dirty. I also felt like the past guy that did this, I felt like they didn't torque it right, because when I was taking it out, it didn't take a lot of pressure to get it out. So you want to make sure you clean the inside, spray it down with W40 so it doesn't get all rusty while you clean it up. But the block itself looks really good. I don't see anything right now that's bad. We'll have to clean that off later. Make sure you zip tie the timing chain. Zip tie this so it doesn't fall out. Yeah, everything looks good, man. I'm gonna get my flashlight and then we'll inspect more. And I'll show you guys the head here in a bit. This is the head right here. I didn't remove my valve caps, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove these first. So I'm gonna wipe them down first, and then this is acetone. I'm gonna clean it up, and then you always want to make sure you label them where they go. So you got to make sure, because they had to go exactly where they went back. So this would be the exhaust. So I'll put E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, etc., etc. Intake side, I1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, and then we'll go ahead and store them away. Make sure you don't mix them up, guys. So do one at a time. You're supposed to. It's better if you do this when it's still in the car, in case you tip the head. But I'm confident enough, so we're gonna go ahead and clean this up. So just use the magnet, and then that's the valves right there. Here's all the valve caps. They have been labeled I1, I2, E1, E3, etc., etc. You guys know the drill. Now we can go ahead and flip the cylinder head and do all sorts of things to it without having stuff fall out. And then I'm gonna go and remove all these nuts and bolts that I left in place. You got to remove all this before you send it to the freaking machine shop. The hook, there's 2 hooks on it, one on the front, one on the rear, and then we'll inspect the pistons, inspect the valves and stuff. It's really dirty inside though. I can tell right away it's dirty inside the intake and the exhaust side, so fun stuff. I removed all the exhaust stud, and I noticed that all these studs on the first side, the front of the engine, they were all stripped. So these were all stripped and they re-threaded to this kind. So this is not the original stud for this exhaust. So I took them out for now just to clean it up. And then these right here are still original, but then the one over here, this one is broken. This is the reason why it wasn't fully tightened down. So they cross-threaded this. So I'm gonna have to go and re-thread it. But I'm gonna do that once I take it to the machine shop and have them check it out first, make sure the head is still good. So that's it right here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up, take out the spark plug, and pretty much all I have to do for the head now. Can't really do too much. I inspected and didn't really see any crack or anything like that, so I'm gonna let the professional take a look at it. The head is finally all stripped and ready for the machine shop. I'll have to call local around and see what the going rates are and see what's a good machine shop here in Anchorage or surrounding areas. Spark plugs are out. Spark plugs are good. No cross-threading thing. And again, you can see right away here, number 6 is obviously the clean one. So it means that the coolant must have cleaned it or something. But again, upon inspection on the gasket, we didn't see anything on the gasket. So I don't know what went wrong. I'll have to take this to the machine shop. If they say it's good, and if they deck it out, then we'll just go install it back in. Maybe they didn't get torqued down properly, or who knows. But again, there's no cracks or anything like that that I know of. The valves are good. Valves aren't burnt or anything like that. So everything looks good. First time working with the N96. Pretty awesome. Yeah, everything looks good, man. Super dirty. I wish I had my pressure washer right now. I can pressure wash this thing up, but it's all good. That's the intake side. This is the exhaust side I showed you guys already. And then this is the EGR right here. So like the 3R, like for like 3.0 and 22RE, you block off the exhaust manifold, but on this setup here is different. The exhaust manifold goes through the cylinder, and then it'll go through here, and then it goes into the EGR pipe right here. And this is the pesky heater hose. Don't want to break this piece, because if you do, I don't think you can replace it. This is the pesky heater hose, and then this is the coolant hose for the throttle body. So you definitely want to replace these two when you're in there. But other than that, guys, I'll keep you guys updated once I get this to the machine shop. Right now, it's just a matter of cleaning up. Once we get an approval that this is good, then I'll start ordering parts. If it's bad, then we're just gonna have to go look for a new head, or I don't know. I don't want to look at that option yet. I'm just planning that it's good right now, and then we'll go ahead and order new parts. So right now, nothing's on order yet. We're just making a list of all the parts we need, and then once we get a good confirmation, we'll go ahead and go from there. Thanks for watching. I'll keep you guys updated.